Hi, I'm Kevin,
I'm Preet.
and this is our fourth video, and we're going to be talking about the classes that we've been taking here at Paderborn University. So our first question that we've been asked is, what are our initial thoughts?
The classes only meet once a week and for 90 minutes. So only once a week and that's it. And there are also some block seminars. I took 2 block seminars. One was for only 2 days and I was like, wow, only 2 days. And that was the easiest but the best class I've ever taken. I learned a lot from that class. And the second one was for 2 weeks, but I dropped out of that class because it was it was not what I wanted to do, and I was not interested in it at all. And I found out that you only have 7 days to drop out of a class, 7 days before the exam is taken. So you have 7 days before the exam to drop any class. The block seminars are interesting, and like I said, the homework.
So what's nice is that because the class meets only once a week, opposed to maybe a class that you would take at ISU that might meet on a Tuesday and Thursday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that sort of thing. So you have a little more free time, but then you're not given any homework, which then makes you think. Again, you have more free time, which really you don't, because you should be taking that free time to study and going over those class notes. Because you don't have homework, your grade is based upon your final exam, and only on your final exam. There might be some participation or something like that, but you don't have any homework points to buffer that grade in case you don't study well for your final exam. So it's really important that you keep up throughout the entire semester. And our next question is, how large are your classes?
Since I'm a business major, there are like probably 50 to 100, even more than 100 people. I think maybe 150 people.
Wow.
My classes are fairly big. Sometimes all students will be here and it will be packed, and sometimes there will be hardly a couple students, like 50. But I don't think my class has had students less than 50 or 70. So fairly big.
In all of my classes, they had a cap of either 35 or 40 students. So my classes are a lot smaller than hers. I'm taking a lot of media classes since I'm a media major, and those classes are a lot more intimate because there are fewer students. You have to participate more. You have to be involved and engaged a lot more. But me personally, I like smaller classes, so I'm totally fine with it. And our next question, where are a lot of your classmates from?
Obviously Germany. Like German students. But then I have students from across the country, like China, Japan, France, Italy, Spain, all over. Even England, so yeah.
Again, because we're at a German university, it's understandable that we would have a majority of German students in our class. But we're taking all English, like classes taught in English, so you don't really have to worry about whether or not people in your class are fluent or that sort of thing, because they wouldn't be taking an English class if they weren't. And I also have a couple international students in my classes. I think I have a couple students from Italy and France maybe, but for the most part they're all German students. And our last question is, what tips and tricks do you have for taking academics or for taking classes here in Germany?
Obviously review your notes every weekend. I know it's like you won't find motivation to do that, but you have to do that. Ask students, make friends in classes, because it can be that one day you cannot make it to a class and some professors don't upload those slides or notes. So you want to ask them what you did and stuff. Like students here sometimes take 2 classes at the same time, like on the same time during the same period. So they will just ask, hey, can you take notes for me while I'm in this class? And they're like, yeah, and then they'll just exchange those notes. So I will just say, just be on the top of your game.
Mm-hmm. And then aside from that, you'd want to make friends, not just for like a social atmosphere and to get to know people from the country, but also there may be different like rituals for classes, things that you might not know as an American student. For example, in one of my classes, I was paired with a couple German students, and we had to turn in like this group project paper. I didn't know that there's a certain way that you have to submit those papers, because at ISU you'll either turn in your papers online or you'll just staple your papers together and hand it in to the professor. But I was watching another group hand in their paper, and they had their term paper put in like a plastic sleeve, and it was meant to look really nice and a little more professional than, I guess, just stapling a piece of paper and handing it in. So you really have to kind of watch for that. And if you don't have a lot of friends, or if you're not engaged with other German students, you may not know all those little nuances of how to turn in papers or how to submit assignments. Even to do presentations, they might use a different like presentation software like Prezi or PowerPoint. I mean, something different that maybe you haven't used before. So it's kind of important academically as well to make some German friends. So I believe that's all we really have for this video. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.